You're out early. Tomorrow will be another day. Extra! Extra! Read it all here! Go get them! Where to next? Oh yes, the arena! I like the look on their face. Good luck, everyone! Okay, let's do the skies! Lucky day, we got a huge pile today, huh? Good work today. Let's relax now. Great job today, Rika. Thanks, you too.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come To Us Evan and today we are talking about the Tomorrow update. What's up everybody? Ultra Death Lord, welcome back again. What's going on, Death? Bubba, good to see you. Guys, we're live on both Twitch and YouTube today. For the folks on YouTube, we got Ryakin, we got John Joseph, Engie, we got Noselick. What's up, y'all? Paolo. It says, LD5, please come to us. Bro, I'm the first one saying LD5, please come to us. I'm happy with Destiny and Lydia, right? You know, it's like, I'm happy with them, but I would more than welcome like a Berghild or a Gianna, just to name a few. You know, whatever they'll give me, honestly. Guys, this has been a long time coming. I'm so glad that we finally get a chance to actually talk about this together. And frankly, an hour 45 for the dev Q&A was a very long time. So I figured what we'd do is we'd go through the dev note that was released today together and summarize all the changes that are coming to Summoner's War. And we can brainstorm, we can theorycraft, you can ask me questions. Hopefully I have answers to everything you want to know. What is up? Yes. Steel Houdini, what is up? This update looks so good, honestly. I saw a comment today on Sean B's video that is like so perfect and indicative of what this update is all about. They said this is the best update for people with jobs. And I was like, it's so true. So the mission for this update, guys, it was so clear from the very beginning. It's basically trying to enrich your farming experience. It's trying to relieve the burden of like constantly being glued to your phone. The devs said that you should be able to play hard when you want to and rest when you need to. And I think that that perfectly summarizes everything going on in the Tomorrow update. So now with that said, let's jump into it. The dev note came out today, very conveniently. We'll go through pseudo line by line item. You know, we can talk about the highlights and we can stop and ask questions as necessary. Sane King says, when does the update go live? While I cannot necessarily say the specifics, I will tell you it is not tomorrow. It is not tomorrow, but it's very close. It's very soon, guys. Finally, a summarized version. The other video is kind of long. I got you. In fact, John Joseph, in addition to that, we have another video that's going to be coming out semi-soon. It's like a standalone Fuse News episode that is also going to go into just a summarized look over of everything. So let's talk about it. And yeah, Bubba V, exactly. Yes, the note heavily hints at next week. You can see Bubba V's comments on there. I will neither confirm nor deny that. Okay, let's talk line by line. Hopefully, yes, no Evansplaining. Unfortunately, this entire stream is going to be Evansplaining, starting right now. The first thing that is coming in the Tomorrow update is the Ameria's Blessing, Ameria's Luck. This is a buff that is given to the first 500 energy that you spend every single day. This is roughly a ×4 upgrade to legendary drop rates, and it also completely eliminates kind of that, I'm gonna affectionately use the word trash from, you know, the drops. So that means no blue runes, that means no unknown scrolls, etc. It is purely hero runes and legendaries that are gonna get dropped, ×4. The devs actually cited that you could expect something akin to a 10 legendary drops in a single ×30 run, which is just insane math, by the way. Like, given how long we've all been playing Summoner's War, like our experience with the game, we know what that means. To have there be roughly 10 legendary runes in a ×30 run is fantastic. That's great. Evan, when's the next top 10? Hopefully soon, dude. So honestly, things have been quite packed recently between SWC and also prepping for the Tomorrow update. So as things kind of even out and go back to a something very close to resembling normalcy, we should be able to get you some more videos on the YouTube channel. We have quite a few that are recorded. They're just kind of in the backlog for editing right now. When is the update happening? Tomorrow? It's you know, it's heavily said to be soon, probably closer to next week. Okay, so again, first 500 energy you spend every day is going to have roughly a ×4 bonus to legendary drop rates. You can expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 legendary runes in a single ×30 run. That's the cited, like, kind of median math from the devs. Okay, let's go to the Dimension Hole revamp. So in the Dimension Hole, the first thing, this is so perfect. I'm really glad that they're doing this. No more blue runes dropping when you're farming ancient runes. They're just removing that from the drop table. So if you're farming ancient runes within the Dimension Hole, you don't have to worry about that. You're gonna be getting a lot better stuff. Nice chance to get the Vela Jewel. Yes, bro, that's what I'm talking about, Ziegler. Can't wait for this, says Fox. Yes, me too, dude. Me too. And we haven't even got that, like, please, don't read ahead. I'm trying to cover this up, but I'm cropped. Don't read ahead, because the stuff that I'm really excited about is coming up after this. Oh, and thank you so much, Death says, dude, I love your glasses. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, so the farming, you can tell that, like, the focus for this update was really just trying to make farming a lot easier. Oh, Lucky! Oh my gosh, dude, good to see you. And Teriyaki says W update, thank you. Jeannie says, Evan, you rock. Jeannie, you rock. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Dimension Hole energy recharge speed is also increasing. So we're gonna be getting our Dimension Hole energy back faster, which is good because the pool for Dimension energy is going up to 1,000. Now that means the entry requirement, the entry cost for the Dimension Hole is going to be adjusted to sort of accommodate that. But generally speaking, you're going to be able to farm the Dimension Hole a lot more. They also said that it's probably going to take approximately 60, they said 57 runs through the Second Awaken dungeon to 2A a new unit. So if you're trying to Second Awaken a unit, you can expect approximately 60, more closer to 57. I'm rounding up slightly just to make it easier. And now that number should already be setting off green flags, right? 60, 57, that's a very pleasing number to hear, and that is great news for skill ups. If you're trying to skill up a Second Awaken unit, it is suddenly a lot more efficient if you just want to 2A a copy, and now you've functionally made a Devilmon. Like, that is actually so much value. Yeah, Predict says 1,000, holy, yeah, and it goes up. Bubba V hit me with a really good stat, 1,150 with all the statues. That is a lot of energy. It's a lot. It's like I'm saying 1,000 is shorthand. You can get even higher than 1,000. So now, let's move on to the next big thing. This is probably the biggest part of the update. Buckle up. If this is your first experience with the Tomorrow update, hold on to your horses, hold on to your beasts if you're Masha. We're getting scout battles, which means offline farming is finally coming to Summoner's War. That is the biggest part of the update to me. I'm very pleased about this. So that means even with the game closed, you can run between 180 up to 220 auto battles in the background. And you can have it farm for you at 2, 4, or 8 hour intervals. And you can essentially farm anything you've cleared. That's how they've done it. Evan will finally farm now. Bro, I'm catching. Oh my God, I'm catching strays. I'm just going through the dev note, dog. I'm just going through the dev note, and now I'm catching strays like that. That's crazy. Let's ban Genie. Can we get a ban on Genie? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, awesome. Here comes a few questions, right? Because this is the place where I think people will have the most questions. Does this come out of the same regular energy pool? Yes, it does. So, for instance, you will have to provide a certain amount of energy at the get. So you will have to show it's like, okay, I've got the 200 energy to farm for X amount of hours, right? So you show that you have the energy, but let's say you want to cancel it early. If you show I've got the 200 energy, let's farm in the background for like 2 or 4 hours or whatever, you can cancel it at any time you want to, and you'll get the difference of energy back. So you're giving it 200 energy to hold on to, and if it doesn't use all of it, you'll get it back, which is really nice. I also have one more bit of news for you, which is part of that dev Q&A. It was an hour and 45 minutes, so I totally understand if people didn't get a chance to watch all of it. So exactly, so you set up that energy at the start, but you can take back the difference of what you haven't used at any time you want to. The other good thing about this is that the runes that are stored here are not stored in your regular inventory while you're farming. So what that means is the game is going to check to just make sure that you have a single space open in your rune inventory. As long as you have one open, you can do this. And then after that, you're good to go. And then you'll sort your runes out later. P. Gasper says, overall the update sounds great, but to be honest, we all want a pity on summons. You know, so I think that the devs are kind of exploring, like, changing up the way that we summon. We're gonna get to that later. There's a line in here called the special summons for new summoners. This is not a pity. It's strictly speaking, it is not a pity. It's more like a pickup summon, but they are currently exploring like ways to just kind of like develop the summoning system, make it easier for new players to get what they need, etc. So essentially the tomorrow update should be looked at as like the first step towards like a new era of Summoner's War. That's actually how it's being like positioned. And it's very much true, because this is something where like, you know, we've run a user survey for the first time as come to us, and many of the things that were answered, like as what players are wanting the most, are being put into the tomorrow update. Like this is a good start. You're welcome, Genie. No problem, dude. Oh yeah, the 4-star summon rate up will help a lot of new users for skill ups. Totally, dude. Let me look into YouTube chat real quick just to see. Fearless, Evan. Oh my God, Fearless. Hello, long time no see. I'm so excited about this update, and thank you very much for explaining it to us. You're welcome, dude. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy to. And then I also wanted to say hi to Eileen Johnson, because Eileen Johnson said, "Let's go, Evan. Let's go, Eileen." Oh, and so, oh, excuse me. Triune is in a similar spot to me. He says, new summoners. I've been playing for 10 years. Feed me an LD5. I've never gotten one besides the event mons. I'd like a fire dragon, for the love of God. Dude, I really want a water dragon. I also really want Velajul, the fire archangel. I really, really want him. This is making me want to jump ahead to talk about the summoning thing, but I'm not gonna. I'm trying to think if there's something else that we haven't talked about for the scout battles yet. We've talked about how you can interrupt them and get your energy back. We've talked about how the runes aren't stored in your same rune inventory. Talked about how you need that energy up front. So that's the thing, right? So real quick, let's just look at the Ameria's luck and the scout battles as a combo. So the Ameria's blessing does not apply here. That's a great question, Teriyaki. It does not apply while you're farming, while you're doing scout battles. So you won't be able to, Ameria's blessing is purely for you while you're on the Sky Islands. So there is a world here where you could like log in for the day, do your 500 energy like real quick, like just run raids, run Kairos, whatever, use that 500 for the Ameria's blessing. And then if you need to bounce, if you have a meeting, if you need to sleep, you can run scout battles in the background. Like, this is what I'm talking about when I say that like the tomorrow update is very clearly trying to respect your time and make it so that you can farm and progress through the game as you need to without being glued to your screen. And I really appreciate that. This is something that I've been like really wanting to talk to you guys about for a while, because this is something that was directly asked for by players. Like, offline farming is something we've wanted for a while. And, you know, games in the environment have adapted this, but Summoner's War is finally getting it, and I think this is fantastic. Can this update roll out, please? I want to use my energy. Yes, bro, it's great. Oh, and this is a great question. So Nike, unfortunately, I don't have a super clear answer. We might be able to ascertain the answer via the screenshots in the dev node. They say, will there be the same cell settings and power-up thing for Scout Battles? With that said, so I don't exactly know what the UI is going to look like for this, right? I haven't gotten a chance to play around with Scout Battles myself. I'm going to tentatively say I would imagine that would be the case. Because if you're farming for 2, 4, 8 hours, you're gonna have a lot of runes to go through at the end. So you're gonna want to sell them in bulk, you're gonna wanna power them up in bulk. They introduced that mass power up setting in a previous update, and I think this is kind of like the final form of needing that. Oh yeah, Boo Guka says, absolutely, dead gamer, no, dude, this is a big one. This is a big step for Summoner's War. I will tell you that. So like, for instance, if you've played in the past or you're looking to start, now's a really good time. I wish that we could talk about the special summons, because I feel like that would have been a really good segue. Let's talk about the Temple of Chaos. Let's talk about Temple of Chaos. And I'm gonna catch up on chat. Yes, make sure your cell settings are up to date. That's from Lucky SW. So if you have max Dimension Hole energy when the pre-update, will it go to the max 1,150 after the update? I actually don't know what the logistics of that are gonna be. Like, transferring all that, I imagine it would go to cap. I imagine it wouldn't have you start by recharging at low. Living Art says, I just quit and then they pull me back in. Bro, that is great feedback. That is great feedback, dog. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that, actually. Oh, speaking of which, guys, this is a good opportunity to remind you, we do have a survey today. As usual, please fill it out. We give out 75 crystals to a random number of people equal to the max viewership we get on the stream. And there is a question about how excited you are for the update in there. So I'd love to hear that feedback. I need to hire someone to fix my cell settings. Well, dude, if you need to, Bruised, you can actually use other people's cell settings. If you, I could even show you, if you remind me later, I can show you how to do that. What's up, Maple? My guess is that they'll give the difference between the new cap and the old cap. So yeah, perhaps. I could see that. Let's talk about the Temple of Chaos. I already gave this sort of segue. Let's do it. So this is the new boss. Oh, and I mentioned this in the Fuse. I recorded the Fuse news today where I go through this and summarize it even more than I am right now. But I wanted to shout it out here as well. So you'll hear me do this twice if you watch the video. But I just wanted to give kudos to the folks on the Summoners War subreddit, because they caught on to the map change immediately. I'm talking frame 1, they caught on to it. I don't know if you guys saw that Reddit post, but like in the additional download, they shifted the continents on the scenario map ever so slightly. Like, we're talking pixels of shift. And everybody was all like, something's coming, something's going right here. That was crazy how fast they picked up on it. And what's going there is the Temple of Chaos. And this is a new competitive PvE. This is a new boss for people to fight. It is not going to be something that you need to farm. This is something that's going to be open for the first week of every month, Monday to Sunday. And you will get a limited number of entries. I believe the entries is 3, but you can always use the test feature that you've seen from like the Dimension Hole prior. This is what the devs are calling a relay battle. So you're going to queue up with 3 decks of 5 monsters, and then you'll go back to back to back to fight this boss who has infinite HP, which is actually a good thing. I do appreciate that it has infinite HP, because that means that you can constantly push for higher scores month to month. It's not something where it's just like, oh, I beat it, oh, okay, cool, done. No. You push for score, and then you get rewards based on how well you do. The boss has a few unique mechanics. First of all, like right from the get, when you're building your team, you can't use duplicate monsters across decks. I believe in the dev note, they also said so this is something that we'll have to clarify. They said, oh, what's up, Fastlix? They said no duplicate monsters, and like, they said runes and artifacts too. I'm wondering if it might be a mistranslation on that. We'll have to see when we go into it. But the boss himself does not have an attack bar, just no attack bar at all. So that means he is immune to attack bar reduction effects. He doesn't gain, he doesn't reduce, whatever. After 4 turns for you pass, he gets a turn. So watch out for things on violent, watch out for things that take additional turns, because that's gonna feed him more turns. That's gonna get him closer to attacking you again. He'll also stack 1% of damage reduction every time he's hit. So multi-hits are also a no-go. And he gets more turns, less allies. Yeah, dude. So this guy sounds tough. He also takes reduced damage from max HP scaling sources, which makes sense because technically speaking, if he has infinite HP, a max HP scaling attack would technically, like, you know, it would do a lot of damage. It would do so much that it's incalculable, right? You can't calculate that based off infinity. So he's going to take reduced. Okay. You can also obtain the new items for this. And this is like super simple, but these are like the coolest new items that have been introduced in a very long time. First, we have refinement stones. Refinement stones allow you to keep the substats of a rune, but re-roll their values. So you could like re-app a rune, get the best substats possible with the worst rolls, and then use a refinement stone to change it into a godlike rune. That is what I'm loving. Memris, this is definitely that is definitely not the case. So the Tomorrow update is all about being the first step towards a series in a long line of changes that are going to be modernizing, changing the landscape of Summoner's War, like bringing it into a new era, which is great. Then we have core fragments. So core fragments, plain and simple, are artifact reappraisal, but you can lock substats that you like. That's probably the coolest. You can lock up to 3 sub-properties and retain their type and power-up level during reappraisal. So that means if you get a triple roll into one of those substats in an artifact, you can lock it and re-app the rest. Fantastic. Fantastic. Those are also getting added into Siege rewards and World Arena rewards. Yeah, I'm very pleased about this. Great, Fearless, great question. So let me just reiterate this for Fearless. So just joined a few minutes ago. Are there any changes to rune storage? If you talked about this already, I'll go back and listen. I think it's worth talking about again. So while we haven't discussed anything that's purely related to rune storage and changing it, what we did talk about is in scout battles, right? When you leave, you can queue up, have the game farm for you offline for 2, 4, 8 hours, like however long you want it to farm. And in the background, those runes that are acquired during scout battles are kept in a separate rune inventory from your own. The game will just check to make sure that you have a single slot open in your rune inventory, and if you do, you're good to go. Yeah, Nike, that's very true. Evan, you can also keep the ones with 0 rolls and only roll the ones with 3. You could absolutely do that. That's why this is so cool. That's why this is amazing. They showed that on the keynote. Yes, so you could do it backwards. So if you want to hold on to a trip roll, you can, or if you don't want to and you want to make sure that something gets trip rolled into, you can do that as well. Is this event already live? Not yet, T Mario. So it's not strictly speaking an event. It's actually like a big update that's coming out semi-soon. And let me jump down to the special summons. Okay, this is the last like big highlight before we go deeper into the dev note. The special summons for new summoners, okay? Stick with me on this. So this summon list, it's limited for 30 days. For new summoners will be provided, and it's going to have a fixed summon pool. So this is like a pickup summon table. It's got 15 nat 5s of water, wind, and fire elements, and also a reduced, like slimmed down list of 4 stars. And during this period, what you can do is you can optionally summon off this table. So you can like check the special summon box, and if you want to, you can summon on it to try to get any of the monsters that are on this list. So you can toggle it off or on as you like. And so for people that were playing during the Sky Fever season for 2025, right? You know that event where you could choose 1 out of 9 monsters, Nat 5s, to take home with you? It's similar to that, except it's saying the next 3 times that you would get a Nat 5, you instead get a Nat 5 off this table. So this is obviously really cool for like new players. If you haven't cleared TOA yet, now you have an even greater chance to get Varad or whatever is on this list, right? And it is called like special summons for new players or new summoners, but everyone will have access to this. So everybody can try it. So, this is going to have like a different amount of value depending on how long you've been playing the game. It's like, I've mentioned it a couple times, I still don't have Varad. Do I necessarily need Varad? Not exactly. So it's like, do I want to try to get him? I could. So I could summon off this table if I wanted to, but I'm not necessarily sure if I would want to. But again, it's optional, so I can toggle this on or off as I see fit. And it is also great for summoning Nat 4s. So a new 4-star summon list designation feature will let you reduce the Fire, Water, Wind 4-star monster pool to half or less and set your own pool and summon off of that. That is fantastic. Oh, and Ultra Death Lord, hey Evan, will Calderon get nerfed? Because man, I need my Ancient Swift runes. Yes, so they did actually mention that they're going to do a little bit of adjusting inside the Dimension Hole rune dungeons to make it so that your overall times are faster. Because, dude, if we're going to have 1,150 Dimension Hole energy, you want to burn through that slightly faster, right? It's going to take forever to get through that. So that is like, those are the highlights, right? We're going to dig deeper because you'll notice that we're only in the top like 10 or 20% of this dev note. So we'll go through this together. But I wanted to ask you guys, what are your general feelings about the Tomorrow update? What are you most excited for? Like, is there a feature that you're most looking forward to? Personally speaking, it's scout battles. I know I caught that stray from Genie earlier in the stream, but it's super true. I love the idea of being able to farm while I sleep, or being able to just make progress while I'm not like locked in on the game, Because we've all been in a position like that where it's like, oh, I really should be farming, but shoot, dude, I'm like having breakfast with my mom. It's like, something like that. Oh, which is great. Carrie Bear, let me take a sip of my coffee real quick while I read these. Carrie Bear, good for casuals, which I like, good for rune depth, and being able to use more monsters. I would argue that it's definitely, like, some of this stuff is really good for players of all walks of Summoners War life. I think the scout battles will help a lot of people, and it will really help new players like catch up quick. Can you re-app artifact quads by locking the other 3 properties to get the quad you want? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So if you want to like keep a quad, or rather a trip roll or something like that, if like there's an artifact substat that you really want, you can lock it and re-roll the rest. You can do that. I have like 82A skill ups to finish. That's my priority. Childish, what's going on? Scout battles is life. The rest is just details. Dang Skippy, dude. Honestly, preach. I love it. I love it. Derek Klein, what's good? Derek, name something good for old players. Dude, the scout battles is spectacular. I really like Ameria's Luck. Ameria's Luck is fantastic for old players and new players. That just straight up, it's fantastic, dude. Like the boost to legend drops is amazing. I also do really like the refinement stones. I would say like the new items, the adjustments to the farming and more are really good for players at all levels. But I think the refinement stones and stuff are geared more towards older players. Oh yeah, 100%, dude. This is definitely like, the devs are positioning this as like the first step towards a new era of Summoners War, and which is great. Tara Klein, tell me why. I would love to hear the opinion. I would love to hear more. Ameria's Luck is applicable for all? Yes, it is. So Ameria's Luck is a daily buff to the first 500 energy that you spend. Okay, excellent. So there's also changes to entry costs for some of these. May bring differences to this. Since Ameria's Luck provides boosted drops for 500 energy, we plan to mitigate gaps by adjusting energy costs. So this table shows you that they're going to be reducing the entry cost for different dungeons going into it. Oh yeah, where is Carnegie? We haven't seen Carnegie today. We haven't seen Carnegie yet. So you'll notice that we're getting a -1 energy cost to like Cairo, stuff like that. If you want to check this out. Well, Derek, also too, the other thing, dude, is if there's something, I do that in 10 minutes. I think part of it is also trying to seriously like relieve that burden. So it's like, you know, if you can do like 500 energy in like 2 minutes, I think ultimately what it is like, it's trying to let people like do what they need to do. And then if you want to, you can just do scout battles for some of it. It's like, you don't have to be present if you can't, but if you want to, you can. I think that like in that keynote, probably the best phrasing that I saw for it is like, play hard when you want to and take it easy when you need to. So it's like, this is not necessarily something that's going to like change the way that you interact with the game on a day-to-day basis if you don't want to, right? So it's like, I think it's purely just trying to make certain parts of Summoner's War provide less friction for players and like require you to keep your phone on less often if you want to. Because you know, for folks like Derek who are saying like, oh, I can farm that super quick, that's amazing. You can get the 500 energy out of the way. You can farm for as long as you're able to or as long as you care to, play some RTA, do your guilds, etc. And then when it's time to close it, you can be all like, okay, I'm just gonna run some scout battles in the background, so it's like I still have some runes to look at when I come back. So it's not something where it's like, it's not trying to fundamentally change the way that you play the game when you're actually looking at your device. It's trying to help relieve the burden of feeling like you need to be on your device all the time. Does that make sense? I don't know if that helps, Derek, but you know, I think it's good to have this conversation. That's exactly what this stream is meant to be. I like the attention to detail scenario bosses costing more energy but giving less XP being fixed. How would you guys respond to most endgame players saying this is only for new players? Reformed Mist, I kind of just had that conversation with over on YouTube. P. Gasper, thank you so much, dude. Evan, to engage those kinds of comments with grace is what this community appreciates you. Dude, bro, that's so sweet. Honestly, dude, I think that like, that's what this is for. This is meant to be a forum for that. So let me repeat slightly for Reformed Mist on Twitch. So the question is, how would you guys respond to most of endgame players saying this is only for new players? So what I would say is ultimately the Ameria's luck bonus is for everyone. Scout battles is for everyone. And then the refinement stones and also the artifact reappraisal, those new shards, those are probably the core fragments. Those are probably more for endgame players. But what I was telling Derek over on YouTube is like, ultimately, I don't think that this is going to change the way that you interact with the game when you're actually like on it, right? It's meant to relieve the burden when you're like ready to call it for the day. So it's like, if you can get through that 500 energy super fast, that's spectacular. You can do that, and then you can farm for as much as you want to afterwards. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna play some RTA, I'm gonna do my guild battles, etc. And then you turn it off if you have to, if you have a meeting, you gotta sleep, whatever. Most endgame players will be farming for most of the day. Well, Reformed, with that in mind, now it's like, if you want to, it's only if you want, right? That's where this is. You can turn your phone off, conserve the battery, do whatever you need to do, then come back. If you want to keep doing that, that's amazing. I wouldn't say that it's only for new players. I would say that what it's for is just to try to keep you or force you to be glued to your screen to make it less of a burden on you. Oh, and so when we start getting into that nitty gritty, so Reformed, having it only being 500 energy won't change anything for endgame players. So that's the sort of thing where it's like, once this drops, right, the devs are gonna have their eyes on this. If 500 energy doesn't feel like it's making the impact that they want it to, when we're talking like numbers, stuff like that, that can always be tweaked. So for that comment, I would say let's live with it for a little while. Let's see how it goes. Like, we're gonna get a lot of feedback, right? Like, this is gonna be a big step. We're gonna have a lot of eyes on it. And then the devs can always tweak that if there ever feels like something. So when it comes down to numbers, I wouldn't get too hung up on the 500. It's like, if it feels good, they might keep it. If it doesn't, we can always change it. Oh, that's, it says, hold on one second. Let me catch up on YouTube real quick. Most excited for the Dimension Hole revamp and the refinement stones. The scout battles should be interesting too. I agree. I am also excited about that. Hold on one second, because I think Reform Mist got sniped by Stream Elements. Sorry about that. Said, no offense. I know you have nothing to do with it, but we know that the devs don't pay attention. I 100% disagree. I completely disagree, Reform Mist. That's actually, that's what this is for, actually. Dude, a lot of the things that were in this are actually direct from users. We ran a user survey as well, and then sent it on. Oh, but the balance patch thing, we've talked about the balance patch things. The balance patch was also like, usually they try to take it easy around the time when SWC is going on. So I think we could probably hazard a guess that we could see a more impactful balance patch afterwards. We've had that conversation as well. But ultimately, that would be my answer for that as well, for what it means for that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So, the Sky Island screen, this is going into detail about Ameria's luck. We're looking into the UI for that. This is the Dimension Hole revamp as well. The recharge interval will be changed. Now he's previously recharged at 1 every 2 hours. You're getting 1 every 15 minutes, which is great. I was also wondering if crafting materials no longer drop along with blue runes during Ameria's blessing. Does that mean that the drop rates for transmog stones and angel mons is increased? So I don't think they mentioned the latter two, but they did say that unknown scrolls are also removed along with blues. I'm glad to see you back, Evan. Bro, the new mons I've gotten on EU is insane, bro. Really, Kronuk? What did you pull? But yeah, so just going back as well to Reformed Mist, I would say, like, again, dude, like, this is definitely something where the tomorrow update is meant to be like that step in the right direction. And I really think it is. You know, I do think that there's stuff here for endgame players, like the new PvE mode, as well as I would argue that the 2 new items are for endgame players. And I would also argue that the scout battles is for everyone. That would be my position on that. Fight me, Evan, says Mad Expert. Oh, why is the name Ameria's luck? Ameria is like the goddess in the Summoners War world. You know how it's like you have Ameria's blessing in the beginning as well? Ameria is, she is the goddess in the world. Yeah, I kind of feel, you know, it feels like Avery vibes. That's so funny, Carrie Bear, because I saw Fight Me, Evan, and I thought that I was going to read from Avery. Oh, Reform Mist. Oh, do you mean like do you mean like to do a user, like to see what they want added? Is that what you mean? Oh, like for Reform Mist, we do have a survey actually today. It's one question in there. I just kept it kind of simple. It's like, you know, 1 to 5, you know, rank how excited you are for the update. And there is a portion on there where if you want to, at the bottom, you can leave your feedback in there too, and I can see it. But ultimately, man, like I said, when it comes to the numbers, I wouldn't get too in the weeds about like the 500. Like, this is definitely something where it's like the devs will have their eyes on it. This is, because dude, for as much as we could point to, like, you know, you could point to like how the challenge battle that just came out, that was a new content. They had their eyes on it. They made changes in the last update. They also tweaked the amount of monsters that you get at the start of it, right? This is the same sort of situation. They're gonna bring a whole bunch of new stuff in. They're gonna be tweaking it. When would this update be available for me to come back to the game? Rich Solo, this is coming very soon. I think, am I allowed to say next week? I think I'm sure it's fine for me to say that. And they are all saying this isn't for them, but you're saying it is. Reform Mist, that's fine. People will have opinions, and then it's like, you know, I'd say ultimately we live with it for a little while, see how it feels, and then ultimately we collect that feedback, and we'll make sure that the devs see it from our communities. So it's like, this is all part of that process. This is all part of the growing process for stuff like the tomorrow update. And again, I think it's a good conversation to have, because ultimately if endgame players don't feel like this is it, then we can try to address that in the next update. Like, that's ultimately kind of how it goes around. Hey Evan, how are you doing? I'm doing really well, Marina. Admittedly, my sleep schedule is really cooked. It's really bad following Paris. So I just got back from the SWC World Finals. I am like crashing at like 7:45 p.m. and waking up at 4:45. There's like no fighting it. It's crazy. I don't know what to do about it. Sleep is for the weak. I'm very weak. We already kind of talked about how Second Awakening is going to become a lot faster. Balance adjustments for Dimension Hole bosses. As the number of playable runs in the Dimension Hole increases, we aim to reduce the perceived burden by speeding up Dimension dungeon clears through balance tuning. They aim to make farming feel more focused by introducing Ameria's Luck to Kairos and revamping the Dimension Hole so that repetitive runs feel more rewarding. Alongside that, we're prepping updates that let you enjoy Summoners War more flexibly. Play hard when you want to and rest when you don't. Yeah, I love that line. I really do think that that's kind of what this whole thing is about. About the time reducing requirement to 2A, I still haven't Second Awakened everything yet. And that's from Suki. From Suki, what it is like, you can probably expect about 57 runs to Second Awaken. You just have to visit the island and see. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Okay. Repeat battle and scout battle cannot run at the same time. Yeah, scout battle is meant to be like an offline thing. So it's like, you know, when you're done farming for the day, you're like, I've played RTA, I've done everything I need to do for the game for right now, but I still have like energy left in my inbox or something like that. You can run scout battle. I really see this as being a good thing for, it's like when I have to like leave the house, when I'm driving, when I'm like in a meeting, when I'm sleeping. I think sleeping is probably the biggest one. Then now it's like I can farm in the background and I'm not also draining my battery like crazy, which I really appreciate. Okay, here are the concrete steps for how Scout Battle works. Perfect. Let's check out some of the UI. You can enter it from the Gateway building. You can select 2, 4, or 8 hours at 150, 250, or 500 energy respectively. And then actual energy consumption varies by dungeon difficulty. So there's going to be a little of variation depending on what you're farming. Here's the detailed breakdown on the table if you want to see that as well. It proceeds, the battles run automatically for the set duration, and the necessary energy is deducted up front. And that's the thing, right? We talked about that. So it's like you have to have the energy to start it, but if you don't finish it, you can take it back. Now you can check your Scout Battle results. So this is kind of cool too, right? Because now this could ultimately boil down to like, you know, even if you don't end up liking some of the runes that you find in Scout Battle, you could walk in to find some scrolls. I think this is like really cool. Like I could have gotten some exclusive summon pieces, some mystical scrolls, Rainbow Mon, etc. I think that's pretty fantastic. And then here's the applicable content. So you can use it in Kairos, you can use it in Rifts, you can use it in Raids, etc. What if you have 30-second clear time on Giants? How does that work if you set 8 hours, but it only costs 500? Triune, so it's not strictly speaking your team running for you. So when you want, and that's why it's like, it can still be helpful to have speed teams so that way you can use Ameria's Luck faster when you're actually in the game. This is meant to be something that just operates in the background while you can't be at your phone for whatever reason. So ultimately, it isn't your team that's doing it. Now, with that said, they did hint at some variation depending on how efficiently you're able to clear dungeons or the difficulty of them. But it's not going to be 30-second runs for each of these. It's going to be a different time for that. It's not really your team running over and over and over again. That's also why you don't see fails, right? You know, that's also why it's not failing in the background when you're doing scout battles. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up on YouTube real quick because I've been talking a lot. So Scout Battle is using energy from the gift box, not necessarily from your gift box, just from your energy total. Nice, scrolls for free. That's what I'm saying, dude. There's 3 scrolls in this image, which is pretty sick, actually. Oh, and they not reworked Temple of Wishes. Oh, I know, dude. Like some of the, I could use some. The only thing is that, you know, the Temple of Wishes is not like a huge priority to. I doubt the dev. Just speaking plainly, notably, I'm not a dev. I don't want to speak for the devs. This is Evan. This is Evan's point of view. I don't think the Temple of Wishes is necessarily like a big priority, just because it's not something that we interact with a lot, and we also get a lot of free stuff outside of the Temple of Wishes. I'm sure that like they've got something in mind for it or something. Maybe they want to do something with it. I don't know. But to me, it's not a main priority. That's a completely separate thing. It's like, I'm more interested in game systems. I'm more interested in stuff like this. It's like, how can we make Summoners War easier to enjoy? How can we relieve that burden of farming? How can we get you the runes you need to progress faster and further than ever without having to be glued to your phone? That's what I like about this. You know, so it's like, you know, later we can maybe look on that. This is from Marina on Twitch. Kind of on the topic, I think it'd be cool to have a rarities dungeon, some kind of weekly or daily dungeon. You get some clears. They can give scrolls, Raymond, Devilmon, reapps, and transmog stones. I think that would be cool. So something that is like for different rarities of items. Is that what you mean, Marina? It's a type thing? How many tomorrow left until the update? Amazing question, dude. It's very soon. It's very soon. It's not this week, but it's very soon. And again, guys, I want to reiterate too, if you want to watch the summary again, even further summarized, we're going to have a Fuse News standalone episode coming out about it. I just recorded it today. So it should be easy to consume this if you want a even more succinct version of it. Okay, Temple of Chaos, right? We kind of talked about this before. This is going to be based on battle score. He has infinite HP. This is something that only opens for 1 week out of the month. It's not something that you need to focus and farm on necessarily. It's just for that first week of every month, Monday to Sunday. And you only have a limited number of attempts at it. It's actually 3 attempts, but you can test as much as you want. You'll have 3 monster decks. Duplicates of the same monster, rune, or artifact cannot be used in Temple of Chaos. I don't know what they mean about the rune and the artifact thing, because this is asking for 15 different monsters. So I don't know if that means that they want 15 different rune combinations. I don't know. I don't know what that means. It might mean, you know, something like that. I don't know what they mean by that. We'll have to see in the actual update. And then you will either you'll move on to the next team after either you get team wiped or 50 turns pass, whichever comes first. And something that's kind of interesting about it too is that buffs and debuffs carry over from one phase to the next. So if you're able to set up like a defense break or something on him, and then you move on to your second team, that defense break will still be there. So there's some kind of there's an interesting piece of tech waiting to be discovered in there. We don't know what that is yet, but there's something in there for sure. Okay. Okay. Trickaroo still echoes in the new dungeons. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, like it's when you look at it like this, dude, he's immune to dots. He doesn't like multi-hits. He won't let you use the same monster multiple times. Like you can just feel the historical impact of like the dot team, the Trickaroo team, like every speed team that's ever been here. You can still feel those ripples here. Isn't that crazy? Like you can tell it's like they learned a lot from those, right? Okay. Oh man, Halfling official. Hurtate gonna be king in first wave. That would be so sick. I would love it. So that's the Dark Lightning Emperor. I think the Dark Lightning Emperor should be, that would be awesome. A weird amount of people have gotten him recently, by the way. I just keep incidentally running into people who have recently summoned one. I don't know what that's about. We got a couple in the office, and then I ran into someone at the in Paris who had it. Like, it's kind of crazy. If you want to read into his skills here, you can, but I think the ones that we're going to harp on is just immune to dots. He doesn't use an attack bar, so that means that he's also immune to attack bar reducing and increasing effects. And he gets a turn every 4 turns you take, right? So I'll repeat that one more time. He gets a turn every 4 turns you take. That's how he gets turns. It's not necessarily attack bar. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. I'll let you read these if you want to. Again, this dev note is in the game, so if you want to follow along and read some of those, you can. I mentioned this earlier, but one of his passives is Chaos Force. Every time he's hit, he stacks on a 1% damage reduction. So you're going to notice he's getting tankier as the game goes on. He also receives reduced damage from max HP scaling skills. So that means you'll want to do big single target moves, and you'll want to avoid multi-hits as much as possible. In that dev Q&A, I think you see him using Odin in the demonstration. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, huh, why is he using Odin? You know, it's like, that's not something traditionally seen in like a dungeon situation. And now I see why. It's because of that max HP scaling damage reduction, and also that multi-hits are significantly worse. So you want to do a big single target, like huge Odin ignore defense damage, something like that. Okay, cool. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's move along here. You'll obtain achievement rewards when your cumulative damage score during battle exceeds certain thresholds. This is huge. You can get core fragments, 20 core fragments, and 100 crystals for the topmost milestones. These core fragments are a big deal because, again, those are the artifact reappraisal stones. Yeah, exactly. Marina, avoid multi-hits like MTG. For every rule, there's an exception. In this case, their names are Sabrina and Tom. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Bubba, he says, I mean, they showed Ergar in it, and he sounds so bad for it. Yeah, on paper, he sounds really bad. On paper, he does sound bad. But I don't know what maybe they were cooking. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. Okay. And then look at this. You can get refinement stones and core fragments based on your grade. This is based on rankings in here. They go into detail about the refinement stones, right? Core fragments. So if you want to read deeper into this, you can. Sub-property lock feature. This is the place where you can lock up to 3 sub-properties on that before you re-roll it. Okay. And PvP reward improvements. They're also going to be featuring the new items, refinement stones, and the core fragments. Okay. Guild seals, trophy boxes changing. EXP rewards granted. Now we're getting into a bunch of tables. We're getting into, there's a lot of like tables down here. Okay. Night Falcon says, Evan, we're all waiting for the 2A mod. Oh, dude, I know. Honestly, getting a new 2A would have made this a 10 out of 10 update for me. But it's like, this is also a situation where it's like, now they've made dimension hole farming better. They've made it easier to second awaken. This is like screaming that they want to make a new 2A soon. So you shouldn't tell us, or you shouldn't tell just suggest who it might be. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, who do I think it should be? Well, we all know that the elephant is due. The battle mammoth is due one because it's been hinted at for years, right? Exactly. Go above the XP and read those little paragraphs. Okay, yeah, we'll go read the little. Well, I don't want to read the paragraphs. Okay, this is a lot of tables, guys. This is a lot of tables. Let's keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. We're in the bottom 20% now. We can make it. Oh, here we go. The special summons. Let's look at what monsters are in that table. Salve, Alexandre. Salve, lindo. Salve, BR. Tudo beleza? I would love Hellhounds, by the way. I'm down for Tark to get a second awakening. That's what I want. Lizardmen and Garuda. Oh yeah, and we do use the Garudas, right? We use them all the time. We use Konami and Tion in dungeons, so that would be kind of sick. Okay, so these are the 15 that you can expect in the new summon list. So we've got Rika in here, we got Brandia, Nora, we got the Fire Phoenix Perna, we have Velajul. Oh my god, it's my time. Oh my god, Chad, it's my time. Oh, Joltan, what's going on? I know it's probably not likely, but I hope the higher-ups will consider adding more story or scenario eventually. I'd love some more Summoners Board lore/story. That's from Joltan on Twitch. Well, dude, so, okay. So so I love reading into stuff. Things that aren't strictly said, but we can assume are true. And if you want stuff like that, if you crave any of like Summoners War storytelling, whatever, I implore you watch a little bit of the concept art series that's on our YouTube channel. Because what I do is I go into the art book and I show off like old concepts, and there's some cool ideas in there that were left on the cutting room floor, or like things that we might just not have noticed. Like for instance, this is my go-to example for this, right? So there's an explanation in there about Raccoony and the Hargs, and it's talking about how Hargs kind of offer up their prayers in exchange for future visions, for like basically for prophetic visions, right? And they have stars in their eyes, right? Raccoony's got stars for eyes. And then when you go and look at the new boss for Spiritual Realm, you realize she is like a full galaxy in her body, and she's holding a crystal ball. My like headcanon, I don't know if it's true, but my theory is that the Hargs pray to the Spiritual Realm boss. I actually think that she is the goddess for the Hargs. She might be, because she is probably providing those visions of the future, because often the crystal ball is a medium for like psychics, for psychic readings. So that's just kind of like what I'm reading into, purely just based on like context clues. I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that. So that's my headcanon, but I actually think that there is some backing there. Okay. Then you can also get Varad, Amber's in here, Chow, Wusa, and more. Like, look at all this. Not more as in the monster, I just mean more as in etc., etc. Very cool. And like I said, guys, this is an opt-in thing, so if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. This is utilizing that special summon feature, and for the next 3 Nat 5s, you can get these. Okay. Oh, and then you can customize your Nat 4 list as well, and that brings us to the bottom. Okay, so guys, now is the question. What do you think of the update? What do you think of it? What's your favorite part of it? What are you most looking forward to? Is there something that you think is missing from it? That you feel you'd like to be seen in the next step? If this is the first step towards a new era of Summoner's War, what would you like to see in the next one? You know, that's another good question too. And again, there's room in that survey for suggestions. If you feel like you want to drop them, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Also, guys, I wanted to remind everybody too, if you haven't seen the announcement for it yet, Sky Arena Duel, a Summoner's War card game. It's being designed by Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering. There's an announcement video in the form of a short on our YouTube channel. You should check it out. Inside there is a link to the pre-reg page for what will eventually be the Kickstarter, which is essentially like, it's ostensibly going to be the way that we do like pre-orders for it. So if that sounds like something that interests you, please stay tuned to that. That is a project that's kind of been in the background for a long time. I'm very excited about it. I got to fanboy on a meeting. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I didn't fanboy. I tried my hardest not to. Love some MTG. That's what I'm saying, bro. Living art. That's what I'm saying, dude. I could. Oh my God. When I tell you, I've been on calls. I've been emailing. I'm fanboying all the time, and it's so sick. Okay. Anyway. It's great. My least favorite part, my least favorite part and my favorite part is the offline repeat battle. And why is it called the Tomorrow Update when it's going to take a month to do it? It's meant to be like, so I think the direct translation is, it sounds more apt, more beautiful in Korean, right? Because it's ultimately adapted. Come to Us is a South Korean company, right? So it's like, this is going to be adapted from Korea. And tomorrow, the word that they're using for tomorrow is not literally tomorrow. It's like the future. It's like the hope for future. That's it. That's more or less what it is. But we don't necessarily have a singular word that equates to exactly what it is. It's kind of like how, you know, have you guys ever watched those videos on YouTube where it's like, here's a word that doesn't exist in English, but in, you know, like saudade, you know, we don't really have a word for saudade. The closest thing that it would be is like nostalgia. This is the closest one, right? But it's not exactly. Yes, it's a word for hope, right? It's future, it's etc. It's not strictly speaking like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing on Thursday? It's not that kind of tomorrow. Favorite part is the scout battle. That's awesome. Bubba V, Evan, is the card game physical or digital? It is physical. It is a physical card game. And it is not a TCG. It's not a trading card game. I saw some people saying like, you know, they were asking about like, you know, packs and stuff. It's not what it is. It's a card game. So you'll be able to play it. You don't have to go and chase after stuff either. My brain is scrambled right now. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching today. This has been really fun. I hope it's been helpful. Because I know that Dev Q&A was really long, you know. Oh, Valentin, perfect. Saudade. It's longing, the feeling of longing for something or like old times. Exactly. It's like nostalgia's close, but it's like that active longing for something is different. Anyway, so guys, yeah, thank you so much. Look out for the Tomorrow Update. It is not dropping tomorrow. It is heavily implied to be coming up next week. I think I'm allowed to say that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Again, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. We've got a few news coming out about it semi-soon as well. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see y'all next time. If you're watching on Twitch, by the way, stay in chat. We're going to raid somebody. Bye, everybody. See you next time.